just to start, man, tell us about, right before you jumped into the mastermind, where you at with your business. You run a mad fitness business, which is cool. You got a bubbly personality, which I absolutely love, man. You're a dedicated personal trainer. So where were you at when you first joined the mastermind?
Being honest, I was searching for answers, and you came at the perfect time. My business has been growing,
If you could speak up, dude,
but
it would be mad.
yeah, is that better? Can you hear me?
A little bit louder.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest, I was searching for answers because my business has been growing, but it needed structure, and you came at the perfect time for me to sort of integrate what I've learned from Mastermind into applying that into more actionable steps with structure.
Yeah, awesome. And when you say structure, what kind of structure do you mean? Like, what was it that wasn't in the business that feels like it's there now? That's a massive difference.
Personally, I think just setting the small, tangible goals every day, having a schedule, to-do list, weekly review of what you should do, things like the KPIs, content creation, the funnels, Facebook ads. So business is a holistic sense. It's not just about finance, but there's so many other things that we need to look at from so many different angles. You helped me put things into more structure, so I had more clarity in terms of where I want to take my business day to day. So that made everything more easier and simpler for me to implement.
Yeah, awesome. For you before joining the mastermind, what setup, what structure did you currently have in place? What were you doing to get people into the door? What was your marketing angle?
To be honest, I was in a very comfortable zone because all my business is organic, word to mouth, or people walking past my gym. I was in a very comfortable zone whereby um, I didn't go beyond my capabilities. I know I'm capable of more. I didn't go searching for it. I was just a comfortable person. With your course, you taught me how to lead with more courage to get outside my comfort zone, and that means going back to structure. Doing your funnels, contacting the past leads, changing the way I not changing the way I communicate on social media, but helping me create a specific style of communication, and also focus on my landing page, my website. So you made me look at things from different angles, from just people walking past my studio and word to mouth. You sort of expanded that for me. So now I'm getting leads left, right, and center. And today I got another lead as well.
Amazing, amazing. Before the mastermind, how many people were you getting into the door? Like on a monthly basis, how many clients would you get?
One, one, one,
One.
one a month.
Okay.
And for me, even that for me was like a win. I'm happy. I'm comfortable.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a mindset shift as well, and I do live with a lot of gratitude. Even the smallest thing I appreciate, but we can always expand and improve on things. So I'm definitely a big believer in those things. And since being part of the mastermind, I've had six leads,
Yeah, that's
in
crazy.
eight weeks, and I've converted all six so far.
That's unreal. And that's in eight
Yeah,
weeks, six
yeah, in
weeks.
8 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Amazing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
with that in mind, like, having one person come in every month, like as a business owner, like I know that can be like stressful. So it's like, is that kind of how you felt like not having people coming in regularly and then just kind of waiting until that next person showed up?
I think the waiting game was was sort of like a yeah. It was a bit stressful because because you just don't know when the next one is going to come.
Yeah.
You don't know. So it sort of you're in the tipping point. You're in the tipping point of the ladder. So
Yeah.
having more people come through the door, as you can see, I'm smiling. My emotions evoke how I feel in this moment.
Yeah.
Because you are running a business, but a business that's built on community.
Yeah. And do you feel that, we've done so much work in the last just 8 weeks on, you understanding your funnels, understanding your pricing. We've completely relooked at like your ability to show up online on in regards to content. Do you feel like taking all that action and having like a more holistic view of understanding your business at the moment has reduced a lot of like that stress? Like, do you feel like you're more in control than you were before?
I think going back to the word structure again plays a huge role. All we all have the right intentions, but it's how we implement those intentions. That requires awareness. What things can we improve on? I think that's things you've helped me with. I was probably operating at 50%, but now I'm operating. You can never be 100%. I'm operating probably at 85 to 90%. There's so much work still to be done.
Yeah.
Going back to structure, I'm aware of what needs to be improved every day. I've got awareness of that, and then I'm taking actions now to implement everything you've taught me, and I can see this. I can see the wins.
Yeah.
And that is a mindset shift in itself. And there are the other things you've added, the psychological part of the business.
Yeah. Unreal. You're a pretty disciplined person. Like when it comes to training, you're probably one of the most disciplined people anyone would, meet and say is like crazy. You're also a very infectious person, your personality. How has it been to go through the course, go show up to the calls, try to implement everything? Like, has that still felt quite hard for you, even though, it's like, you're already disciplined, or has it felt relatively easy?
Look, I'm not gonna lie about this. It was hard at the start because I'll call this a new world for me. It required courage. I needed to exercise courage to learn something new. And I needed to get outside my comfort zone. And I needed someone else to teach me something because I'm always teaching people in some way, or giving them the tools to implement what I think may be possible for them. Possibility doesn't obviously mean that they listen to everything I have to say. They have to look within themselves.
Sure.
And obviously that's what you've done for me. You gave me the courage to dive deeper into myself because I had all the answers. I had some of the answers, but I didn't know how to bring those answers out to implement that into my business. You've given me more clarity. Let's just say that you've given me more clarity about everything I've done, even a bit more belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where, in regards to confidence, like before the mastermind, in terms of running your business and knowing how to scale it, because you're at a point now where it's, you're making, good money, you're happy, you're in a comfortable spot, but the current issue that you're having is, how do I expand it outside of myself, right? It's scaling it, right? It's really understanding that structure you talk about. It's really about having the systems in the background where it allows you to have a bit more freedom to travel, to still have the business under you because you love the business and you love everyone that comes through it. But the biggest thing I think we've spoken about is, how do we scale it beyond you, right? How would you rate your confidence before the mastermind out of 10 in terms of your ability to scale it? What would you say that would have been?
I'll say two being the low bar.
Yeah. And
It's
now?
a bit, I would say, look, there's more improvements and there's more work to be done. I would say eight.
Amazing.
We're close. We're close to the. We're close to the top. We're close to
Cool.
the top, and I could not be any more grateful for everything you've done, and that's coming from the bottom of my heart. And
Thanks so much, dude.
I feel the excitement, and just that's what I was just working on now, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, awesome. And so that's a massive shift in your
Yeah,
belief in yourself, your
yeah.
confidence in your business. Like, I think, that's what we all want. We want to feel like we're running a business. We get to relax, stress free, and know where this thing is going. What do you think is, if you had to put it down to, one to two things that we discussed throughout our last, 8 weeks, what do you think it was that really, outside of structure, because we've spoken about structure and
Yep.
systems, but outside of that, what do you think it was that really gave you that confidence?
Shifting my belief. We all have a specific type of belief, and rightfully so. Till someone else comes in and helps us not reinvent, but shines a light, looking at things from a different perspective. And I think that's the greatest thing you've helped me shift. I believe that there's more to be achieved. Limiting beliefs has certain, I had a specific way of looking at things. But you open my heart to expand beyond those limiting beliefs, and not just sit in the comfort zone. Because I was just comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think you helping me with a mindset was the greatest thing I've learned from the mastermind. Everything is mindset. By implementing that, you get more confidence.
It's awesome, man. You having the belief means that you're going to be more willing to invest in the things that matter for your
Yes.
business. And that's huge, dude. That's sick. Time wise, energy wise, financially, all of it. Like it's all an investment. And so if you know you're going to get that back at some point in time and you can have the belief and confidence in yourself, then that's more powerful than anything we can learn on Facebook ads or content creation or any viral hacks or anything like that, because we can continue to learn and grow that way. So that's awesome, man.
And
We're
just
working on a
quickly,
few.
Daniel,
Yeah, you go.
and yeah, and going back to what you just said, I believe once you shift your belief, it gives you hope. Hope like there's something you can reach towards, but that requires action. So that belief is driven by hope. Like I'm actually doing the work. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel every day, just applying. Look, there's days you're gonna feel a bit overwhelmed. That's all part of the experience. Not every day is gonna be 100%, but you still turn up. Even if you turn up 5%, that's okay. You still turn up.
100%. Yeah. And how have you found it being in the community, being on the coaching calls? Like, what's that experience been like for you?
One thing I'm big on is community, and one thing I've loved about the community you built. It's very interactive. It has a lot of social connection. It has a lot of things that I like to say, safety, and you're very present with everyone else that's part of the community. There's laughter, there's joy. Yes, the main goal is to get us what we ultimately want in our businesses, but it goes beyond that. You're connecting with people. Where human beings are not robots, so there's a lot of fun and joy. So I'm no joke. I look forward to always being part of it.
That's awesome, man. Nah, that's cool. Um, it's one thing to definitely build a business by yourself and keep growing, but then to be able to do it amongst like-minded people, like it just changes everything, man. Otherwise, it's a lonely journey
Absolutely.
sometimes, right? Like, yeah.
Yep.
So awesome, man. And in terms of the coaching calls, you're pretty present on all of them. Um, how would you say, my coaching has helped you from a point of view as to kind of be able to express yourself on social media better, show up on there? I know you've had some massive changes. We've we've done a lot of work, a lot of talking about it, and discussion, which has been awesome. But how do you think that's changed?
I think it's more having more like I keep going back to the confidence and the belief. It's so important because me in person authentically is different from the way I communicate. It should not be like that. Maybe there was a bit of fear, of maybe judgment of this. We have all these perceptions of ourselves, but it doesn't mean it's true. It's basically us stopping ourselves from acting within our authentic selves. So you give me more of the confidence and the courage, like show up as you are. You don't need to change anything. Just talk to your audience the way you talk. So yeah, that's basically it. You just show up as you are, communicate the way you do it. The answer I've always done the same thing, but it's just more about having the courage to do it consistently,
Yeah.
showing up consistently.
Yeah, amazing, dude. I love that because if we're transparent and we're authentic and we're genuine, and you're someone who is that always, so it's like to feel like you can't be yourself on there is feels like a trap, feels like something that you got to show up, and it's always feels like work. So it's like the best thing we can do is just show up, tell everyone what we know, skip over the imposter syndrome, right? Like, and just actually be there to provide service and provide value to create an impact. Otherwise, it's just, we're just there like showing up as influencers, not really ourselves. The minute the camera's off, we're switching into a different character and it's not
Yeah.
fun anymore, So no, that's sick.
Exactly.
There was one last question that I wanted to ask you is we've set some pretty big goals for your business, which is pretty exciting. Do you want to share them?
Yeah, so the number big goal is obviously scaling the business into a good class structure, which you've helped me with hugely. I'm over the moon at the moment because I'm so excited. There's been a lot of interest. All of the 6 clients I've signed, 4 want to join the class structure. So that excites me to work even harder, and obviously from a business point of view, apart from just growing the group class, it's obviously increased the revenue for myself because I've spent this business has been going on for 3 years and I've invested everything into the business. So it's time to pay myself a little bit more cash.
Yeah, yeah,
and,
of
and,
course,
and, and have
definitely.
it and have a bit more freedom. And I guess at the end of the day, that's what we want. Is
And what's the
to have freedom.
number that we spoke about that we're getting you to?
100K a year.
Amazing. And how many members did we figure out that that would take?
50 members.
50. So that's easily achievable. You
Yeah,
got 6 in the last 6 weeks, so
yeah. And I
that's
believe that even more and more every single day.
yeah, awesome, man. Thanks heaps, dude, man. This has been amazing. I love being able to help you grow your business, help you to be able to have more belief and confidence in yourself. Like there's nothing more special than to be able to help someone move through the world, have freedom, and just enjoy their ride as well. So
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for everything you've done from the bottom of my heart. Again, you've been a huge contributor to that, and you'll continue to be a contributor to that. That will never end.